Hi, this is Elliot Eisenberg, consulting economist to Guardian Title Agency of Colorado, catching you up to date on the latest in residential sales data along the Front Range in the state of Colorado. And what can I tell you? We're beginning to see ever so slightly signs of softening, but you literally need a micrometer to observe them. Let's begin by looking at prices. In Fort Collins, single-fam prices set a record this past month in August. In Denver, they did not. They were lower than their peak price of a couple months ago. And in Pikes Peak, they've held the record, same price, for 3 months in a row. On the multifam side, it's a little different. There, Pikes Peak is leading the pack with a new multifam record for this particular month for August, right? New record all time. But in Denver and in Fort Collins, prices are down. At the state level, both for single and multi, prices are off their peaks of a few months ago, and nationally, prices are off their peaks of a few months ago. This is generally, I think, mostly a return to seasonality. Kids are going to school, people a little reluctant, and so on and so forth, right? So these are still terrific prices, and in most cases, August record prices too, but just off a little bit off their all-time high prices. In terms of sales activity in Pikes Peak, they are continuing to rise. But in Denver and Fort Collins, they're a little bit down. Nothing particularly much, but they're down. Statewide, they're down also, but nationally, they're up. And what's going on here is pretty clear. Denver was leading the pack. They were ahead of the country for a good long time. So sales were doing really, really well in Colorado compared to the country. Now the country's catching up. They're only up a little bit, 1.5%, not a lot. They're down a little bit in Colorado, 8 or 9%, and so on. But they're doing quite well, but not, you can't stay super strong forever. There's eventually, you pay the piper, if you will, right? And part of the reason for this clearly is inventory. Nationally, inventory's low at 2.6 months. But in Colorado as a state, it's about 1. In Fort Collins, it's about 0.9. In Denver, it's 2/3 of a month. And in Pikes Peak, it's half a month. So you continue to be inventory starved, and your market was much stronger for a very long time than the rest of the country. So the rest of the country is seeing a little bit of slowdown, and you're seeing a little bit more in some dimensions here in Colorado, right, in various cities. But this remains a very strong market. Yes, it's cooling a little bit, but not a lot, and this is certainly not a cool market by any stretch of the imagination. That's it for now. I look forward to seeing you next month.